Every woman may meet many men in her life, but there's only one kind she will fight to keep, the kind she fears losing. These men don't beg, they don't chase, and they don't compromise their worth. They carry qualities so rare that once a woman experiences them, she knows letting go would be her biggest mistake. When it comes to the kind of man every woman fears losing, one of the most powerful traits he carries is emotional stability and self-control. Women are naturally drawn to men who know how to manage themselves in the middle of storms, who don't break down or react impulsively every time life throws a challenge their way. A man who is emotionally stable doesn't allow his emotions to dictate his actions. He understands that his strength isn't shown by yelling, panicking, or begging for attention, but by maintaining composure, even in situations that could break most people. This quality makes him dependable, and dependability is something every woman craves deeply, but rarely finds. She knows that when things get tough, this man won't lose his balance, and that assurance makes him stand out as someone irreplaceable. Emotional stability is not about being emotionless or cold. It's about having a grounded core. Such a man feels emotions but does not let those emotions drag him into chaos. He can feel anger, sadness, or disappointment, yet he knows how to channel those feelings into productive energy rather than destructive behavior. If he is disrespected, he doesn't instantly lash out. If he is challenged, he doesn't crumble under pressure. His strength comes from understanding that control over self is the highest form of control a man can ever have. This level of self-mastery naturally builds respect, not just from women, but from everyone around him. People trust a man who is calm under pressure, and trust is the foundation of deep emotional connection. Women may test a man emotionally, sometimes consciously and sometimes unconsciously, to see how strong he truly is. When a man loses his composure too easily, whether by becoming jealous, insecure, or desperate, he exposes weakness. But the man who stands firm, who doesn't get triggered by every little thing, silently communicates that he is on another level. He shows that his emotions are his own responsibility, not someone else's problem to fix. This creates a powerful dynamic where she begins to respect him on a deeper level because she knows he is not like the majority who collapse under emotional pressure. Instead, he becomes the anchor she can rely on, the steady presence she doesn't want to lose. Self-control is equally magnetic because it reflects discipline. A man who has self-control doesn't give in to every temptation, doesn't waste his time chasing validation, and doesn't need to prove himself by acting out. He knows when to speak and when to remain silent. He knows when to walk away rather than argue endlessly. He knows how to hold back his impulses because he values his peace of mind over temporary satisfaction. This discipline extends into every area of his life, his goals, his relationships, his personal growth. A man with self-control shows that he owns himself completely, and ownership of self is what makes him highly attractive and highly feared to be lost. What women fear most is losing the man who can remain calm in the heat of conflict, the man who doesn't let emotions cloud his judgment, the man who doesn't beg for love but commands respect by how he carries himself. His stability is rare, and rarity is valuable. In a world full of emotional chaos, he becomes the calm in the storm. She knows that if she loses him, she will likely never find another with the same level of strength and groundedness. This is why emotional stability and self-control are not just attractive traits. They are traits that make a man unforgettable and almost impossible to replace. A man who lives with purpose carries an aura that sets him apart from the rest. He is not wandering aimlessly, hoping that someone else will give him meaning or direction. Instead, his life has a mission, a vision, and a drive that cannot be ignored. This kind of man doesn't wake up in the morning asking what the world owes him. He wakes up asking what he must do today to move closer to his goals. Purpose gives him an energy that radiates from within, and that energy is magnetic. Women are naturally drawn to men who know where they are going because a man with direction creates a sense of security and admiration that no material possession can replace. She sees in him not just a partner, but a force, a leader, someone who has carved his own path and walks it unapologetically. A purpose-driven man doesn't rely on relationships to complete him. He is already complete because his identity is rooted in his mission. His focus is not on being validated or constantly seeking attention. His focus is on building, achieving, and growing. This independence is deeply attractive because it shows he is not needy. A woman respects the man who has something bigger than her in his life, not because she is unimportant, but because she understands that his life is guided by a vision greater than fleeting emotions. This makes her value him even more, because she knows she cannot easily distract him from what truly matters. In her eyes, that determination makes him rare, and rarity always creates fear of loss. When a man has a purpose, he commands respect effortlessly. People listen when he speaks because his words are backed by conviction. He doesn't drift from one idea to another or live only for instant gratification. He has discipline, patience, and resilience because he knows his journey requires sacrifice. A woman looks at that and feels both inspired and challenged. Inspired because his drive motivates her to rise higher, and challenged because she knows not every man is cut from this cloth. She becomes aware that losing him would mean losing someone who elevates her simply by being in his presence. His purpose doesn't just give meaning to his life, it gives meaning to the lives of those around him. Purpose-driven men also carry a sense of confidence that doesn't need to be loud. It's not arrogance, but certainty. He knows who he is and where he is heading, and that certainty is powerful. While many men collapse under confusion or wander endlessly, he stays steady, eyes fixed on his long-term vision. This stability in direction makes him trustworthy, and trust is something every woman fears losing once she finds it. When she realizes that his life has depth, that he is not just surviving but building a legacy, she knows walking away from him would mean walking away from someone irreplaceable. Another powerful dimension of a purpose-driven life is the way it prevents a man from being consumed by temporary emotions or distractions. He doesn't waste his time chasing meaningless drama because he knows his time is valuable. He doesn't indulge in things that derail his progress because his mission requires focus. This detachment from distractions makes him more disciplined, more self-respecting, and more appealing. A woman sees that his standards are high, not only for himself, but for those he allows into his life. She knows she must rise to those standards if she wants to remain close to him, and that awareness creates both admiration and fear of losing him. In essence, a man with a purpose becomes a man with gravity. People orbit around him because his energy, his vision, and his actions pull them in naturally. Women, in particular, recognize the power of such a man. They know he will not be easily swayed. They know he does not depend on anyone else to define him, and they know that his path is unique. That uniqueness is what makes him unforgettable and difficult to replace. Once a woman experiences the strength of a man with purpose, she carries the silent fear that losing him means losing something she will not find again. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can possess, but unshakable confidence is on another level entirely. This is not the loud, arrogant kind of confidence that tries to prove something to the world. It is the calm, grounded assurance that a man has in who he is, what he stands for, and what he is capable of achieving. A man with unshakable confidence does not crumble under criticism, rejection, or comparison because his self-worth is not tied to fleeting opinions. He knows his value without needing external validation, and that inner security makes him stand tall in every room he walks into. This type of man doesn't have to speak loudly to be noticed. His very presence commands attention because people can feel the certainty within him. Women, in particular, are drawn to this kind of strength because it makes them feel safe, inspired, and challenged at the same time. Unshakable confidence comes from self-acceptance. A man who has accepted himself fully, his flaws, his strengths, his past, and his future, cannot be easily manipulated. He doesn't chase approval because he already carries the approval of his own conscience. He doesn't try to become someone he's not in order to impress others because he knows authenticity is the greatest form of power. This authenticity creates trust, and trust is a rare currency in relationships. A woman knows that when she is with a confident man, she does not have to worry about hidden insecurities erupting in destructive ways. His steadiness gives her stability, and that stability is what makes her fear losing him. She understands that most men are shaken by insecurity, but the man who has conquered his doubt stands apart as someone unforgettable. Another layer of unshakable confidence is the way it influences how a man carries himself in relationships. He does not beg for love or attention, nor does he fall apart when things don't go his way. If a woman pulls away, he doesn't chase in desperation. If challenges arise, he doesn't drown in self-pity. Instead, he trusts himself enough to handle whatever comes his way. This level of composure makes him incredibly attractive because it communicates that his emotional state is under his own control. Women deeply respect a man who does not hand over the keys to his peace of mind. When she realizes that she cannot shake his foundation, she begins to see him as rare, and what is rare is always feared to be lost. Unshakable confidence also fuels ambition. A man who believes in himself doesn't wait for permission to pursue his goals. He moves forward even when the path is uncertain, because his faith in himself outweighs the fear of failure. This forward motion creates a sense of momentum in his life, and that momentum is inspiring to everyone around him. A woman watching a confident man build, achieve, and overcome feels a mix of admiration and desire because she knows he is not ordinary. She knows he will not settle for less, and she knows that losing him would mean losing the fire that ignites her own growth. His confidence becomes contagious, lifting not just himself, but also those who walk beside him. The beauty of unshakable confidence is that it cannot be faked. Arrogance tries to mask insecurity, but true confidence is silent power. It shows in a man's eyes, in his posture, in the way he listens without feeling the need to dominate, and in the way he speaks without seeking constant agreement. He does not need to compare himself to others because he is too focused on becoming the best version of himself. A woman senses this authenticity instantly, and it creates a powerful connection. She fears losing him, not because he tries to trap her with words or games, but because his very being represents something she may never find again if she lets it slip away. True leadership and strength go far beyond physical power or holding a position of authority. They are about presence, guidance, and the ability to provide direction when confusion and uncertainty take over. A man with leadership and strength naturally becomes someone others look up to, not because he demands respect, but because he embodies qualities that command it without words. He is the type of man who knows how to handle pressure, make decisions with clarity, and remain steady when others fall apart. Women, in particular, are deeply drawn to such men because leadership makes them feel secure and strength makes them feel protected. These creates a deep sense of fear of losing him. Another dimension of leadership and strength is vision. A man with these traits does not live passively, waiting for life to dictate his path. He has goals, plans, and the determination to make them real. His strength fuels his persistence, and his leadership ensures he can bring others along with him on that journey. This creates a magnetic pull because people want to be part of something greater than themselves, and women especially are drawn to men who know where they are going. She sees him not just as a partner, but as a guide, someone who makes her feel safe while also challenging her to grow. That combination of guidance and strength is powerful, and once a woman experiences it, the thought of losing it becomes almost unbearable. The kind of man who carries leadership and strength becomes more than just a partner in a relationship. He becomes an anchor. He provides clarity when emotions cloud judgment. He offers strength when the world becomes overwhelming, and he stands as a shield when challenges arise. His presence alone is enough to create stability in any environment, and this makes him unforgettable in a woman's life. One of the most defining traits of a man every woman fears losing is his ability to uphold respect and boundaries. This quality is not always spoken about, but it is one of the most powerful aspects of masculine energy that leaves a lasting impact. A man who